Good day and welcome back, students. Today we will demonstrate how to use arrays in Tinkercad. Now, you actually see a program here with a circuit of 4 LEDs using regular data types and variable programming for this four LEDs here. And if we will try to simulate this one, you will be expecting that this LED 01, which is actually set to pin 12, which is this one, this red LED here, it will blink. That is the expected output. So what about if we would like to make this a sequential blinking, wherein the red will blink and then the green, the blue, and the green again. So the sequence is this 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4. That is the blink pattern. Okay, let's do the programming part. All you have to do is copy paste for all of this. Now take note, we are actually doing the long method, so that you will be able to compare the long method and using the array later on. So that is LED 1, you have your LED 2, your LED 3. Take note, I just copied and pasted this. LED 4, sorry. And then let's simulate that one. Then as you can see, it's blinking. Actually, it's not that fast because each delay is 1 second each. Now, if we will try to make this an array, remember our array is, the concept of array is having a single variable with having the same name. Now, we have to get away with this. We have to remove this. We have to remove all of this. And the concept is we will make use of only variable LED. Let's try to code that one. So let's try int and then LED. Now, the question now is, what is now the value of where are we going to put the 12, 10, 8, and 6 then? Now, if you remember our lecture, we can actually put them right here, LED, and open and close parenthesis, and then you have your semicolon. How many values do we need? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to place 4 here. Okay, 4. Now then, we will change this to LED. Then you have your open and close bracket. So instead of putting there the 12, we have to put 0. You have to put LED close 1 and then close bracket 2, of course. Okay, then bracket 3. That's just about it. Okay, now so we have now your LED 0 here, LED 0, LED 1, LED 2, and then your LED 3. Okay, now, so how are we going to what is now the value for this one? That is now the problem. So we have to place now the 12, the 10, the 8, and the 6. So where are we going to put it there? We have to initialize it then. LED 0. Now we have to initialize now 12. So that is where you will put the value 12. So the same concept, LED. Why do I keep typing LEN? 1 is equal to 10. LED 2 is equal to, you have your 8, and then LED 3 close equals LED 6. So the same concept still, we are going to place here LED 0. Now, what we have done so far is we just change actually our program into using arrays. Okay. You can now see that I am just changing the programming, the variables. Instead of using separate variables as LED 01, LED 02, LED 03, LED 04 a while back, I have changed it into this LED open and close 4. So I initialize each of the variables using the indexes 0, 1, 2, 3 into its equivalent pin numbers, which is 12, 10, 8, and 6. Okay, that is just what we have done. Actually, we haven't yet made use of the full potential of the arrays. Now, as you can see, I have not changed much of the programming wise. Instead, I have the same number of commands. If I start running this, I still have the same operation because I haven't actually changed the program much. As you can see here, what I only did was change the variable name. That is what I did. And that is not the actual full potential of your arrays. That is just one part by changing your variable names. Now instead of initializing the value here for our LED, we can actually initialize it here by making use of the equal sign, open bracket. You have to place 12, the 12, 10, 8, and 6. Close bracket. Then we have to comment this out so that it will not run. or you can just delete it if you would want to. And then let's simulate it. Now, as you can see, I have an error here. Now, if we try to look at it here, it says there, error expected, comma or semicolon before void, exit status 1. So, where is that error there? It's actually this. Okay? It's actually this. There is no semicolon here. You have to place a semicolon here in order for it to run. Why do you need a semicolon here? It's because, as we have done a while back in LED 4 and then semicolon. That is also true. You have to put still semicolon in there. So let's place a semicolon in there and then start simulation. Now, as you can see, it runs the way it was before. Never. Nothing changed. Never. Nothing has changed actually. If you delete this one, the same. Because the one a while back, the one we deleted was already commented that it actually performed nothing. It does not do anything bearing in our programming. Now that is another function. Now let's try to look into this program here. Now if you look into this one, this program here is actually repeating. The only thing that is different with this statement, this statement is actually the 0, 1, 2, 3. Or you can actually say that this is actually counting from 0 to 3. So, is there a way wherein we can count 0 to 3? We can make use of actually our for loop or any looping statement for that matter. Now, the same question still, the same concept we have for this statements here. This part here is actually being repeated over and over again. The only difference is the index of the array. So let's remove that and make use of the for loop in order to avoid multiple statements of the pin mode. So let's do let's initialize a value here for int I. Then I starts for int I is equal to 0, starts with 0, and then I less than, so this is 3. If you try to look at this is 3. Therefore, we have to place 4 here because 4 less than 3. 3 is less than 4. Sorry. We have to place 4 there, and then you have your I plus plus. Then close. Then you have your open bracket, close curly bracket. Then all we have to do now is copy here. Copy this one, paste, and then let's remove everything out. Let's just comment it out for a while so that you will be able to see. Then if you look at this now, instead of placing 0 here, we have to place the I now here. Because the I is actually changing from 0, 1, 2, and 3, which is practically the same as this changing 0, 1, 2, and 3. So the same concept should be done here. The same concept. Then let's go. For int I is equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus, open parenthesis, then you have your close parenthesis. Then let's copy this one. Let's just copy and then paste. Then after which is we have to change now the same concept. We have to change I and then I again here. Then we have to remove everything else out here. Okay? So if you try now to look at this now, we now start the simulation. Starting simulation. Now, what is now the problem here? Now, as you can see, I actually forgot the close for that one. And then no, that is not a curly bracket. That should be a curly bracket. Pardon for that. Now as you can see, the same concept, now it already runs the same as what we have done a while back. Now I will now delete this one so that you will be able to see. Now you can now compare the use of array and how I coded into something like using array and then using the for loop. It drastically minimizes your program code using for loop and array. Now, what about if you have, let's say, 10 LED? If you have 10 LEDs and you make use of the individual variable LED 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 7, 8, 9, 10. And then as you can see, there are already 10 variables. In here, you have to place single variable. All you have to do is define the value of those variables here. Variables here, here, here. Now, you can also remember that the values in here is not sequential. It is 12, 10, 8, and 6. It is actually changing, it's always going less than 2. But I can actually change that into, let's say, if that is 7, I can change that to 7. Let's stop the simulation first. Change to 7, and of course we have to move this into 7. Then go back to the code and then start simulation. The same concept still runs. Okay, so that is how you make use of your arrays. So let's have a recap. Remember, your LED can change multiple your arrays. You can change your variables using single variable using arrays. You can also minimize your coding using arrays and using loop statements. Students, that's for today. If you have questions and comments, list down below and don't forget to subscribe. I hope you have learned something today. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video. Bye bye.